When researching which wood makes the best raised bed, I found that many factors need to be considered. To simplify the answer, I decided to create a video comparing cedar vs. pine to determine which wood makes the best raised bed. Using wood to make a raised bed is a cost-effective solution. Cedar and pine are two popular kinds of wood used for garden construction. When it comes to which of these woods makes the best raised bed, cedar is the clear winner. The awls in cedar make it naturally more robust and resistant to rot. In the next few sections, we will be making side-by-side comparisons of these wood materials for garden beds, their considerations and benefits, as well as other raised garden bed considerations that you should know as a gardener. So please do watch on. Considerations when comparing cedar vs. pine for making raised beds. One of the main things to consider is the durability of cedar and pine and what happens to these woods as time passes. Longevity is another deciding factor. Obviously, you want to use wood that will hold up for a long time and not need to be repaired often, disturbing the plants in the bed. Untreated pine can last up to 7 years if you have good draining soil. Cedar could easily triple this lifespan. But if you want a short-term and cheaper solution, pine may be the right option for you. Safety of using pine or cedar for raised bed gardening. When it comes to growing vegetables, the main concern is using preservatives and chemicals in certain woods. These chemicals can leak into the vegetables, which is not good for obvious reasons. This is another reason that cedar is better than pine when it comes to making raised beds. Cedar is dense and long-lasting, with no added preservatives, making it an ideal choice for raised beds. Pine usually needs to be treated for longevity. Using cedar for raised bed gardening and its considerations. Using pine for raised bed gardening and its considerations has a lifespan of up to 30 years. It can last up to 7 to 10 years. No preservatives or chemicals. Usually requires the addition of micronized copper azoles. Highly durable and stable. Develops checked appearance in time. It does not warp or shrink. Not guaranteed against shrinking or warping. It turns gray with time. Decays in the ground. More expensive, more affordable option. If you choose pine to make your raised beds, one way to ensure that it will last longer is to paint the boards with raw linseed oil. This will protect the pine, and over time it will turn from a beige color to gray. This is a good way to bridge the gap between the notable cost and durability difference of cedar and pine. Knotty-grade cedar is also a slightly cheaper option. It retains strength but has more visible knots in the wood. The different types of cedar and pine which can be used for making raised beds. The individual type of cedar or pine which you choose to make your raised bed will likely depend on what's available in your area and the cost. It is important to weigh these factors against the characteristics of the wood to choose the most suitable for your raised bed. Cedar wood types. Strictly speaking, there are 4 types of cedar wood: the deodar cedar, the Lebanon cedar, the cypress cedar, and the Atlas cedar. These types of cedar all have slightly different characteristics and are therefore used for different purposes. The most common form of cedar is western red cedar, which isn't a true cedar but is ideal for garden use because of its durability and long-lasting nature. Pine wood types. Like cedar, there are many variations of pine wood. These different species vary in properties such as strength and hardness. Shortleaf pine is solid wood, similar to red oak. These harder pines, shortleaf, longleaf, and loblolly pine, are commonly used for outdoor construction as they are more robust. What should a cedar or pine raised bed be lined with? Lining a raised bed improves its durability and stops toxins from going into the soil. Some people use plastic to line their raised bed, which isn't ideal as it tends to retain excess water and deter insects which are beneficial to growth. This is particularly true of non-porous plastic. The best material to use for raised bed lining would be landscape fabric. This can usually be found at gardening stores, or you could use cloth fabric from old clothes if you want to be thrifty. Lining your raised beds with this for mold prevention. A good way to prevent moles and gophers from harming the plants in your raised bed is to line it with metal hardware cloth. This lining will prevent them from coming up through the bottom of the bed and wreaking havoc on your shrubs. What do I put on the bottom of a raised garden bed? Put organic material like compost, grass clippings, and leaves on the bottom of the garden bed. This will boost your soil's health and benefit your plants. Refrain from putting rocks on the bottom as they may create a water table within the raised garden bed, causing root rot and improper drainage. How depth affects a raised bed? When constructing your raised bed, it is important to have enough depth, otherwise, plants and vegetables may struggle to grow. If the raised beds are built over concrete, They are likely to need more depth because they won't gather nutrients as easily. If they are built over grass or soil, you can afford to make them less deep because there will be more nutrients available to them. The key to making your raised bed deep enough is to consider which crops you intend to grow and do some quick research on how much depth they require for their roots. We are almost wrapping up. These are the common differences between these two. Hope you like this video. Please comment, share and subscribe to this channel for more videos.